Warm welcome. Good morning from here. Very nice to be back with this opportunity to meet in this way, and it would be lovely to be reminded where everyone is joining from. So do share in the chat, because maybe for some it's good evening and good afternoon. So there's extraordinary opportunity to experience what we have all tasted, this different way of being in the world. And nice to be connected to Portugal, London, Canterbury, India, and all parts of India, as well as Greece, Europe. Being away for some time, and when we get a chance to go into the depth of spirituality, it often feels like discovering something that was always there, but as if a secret has been revealed. So I love the title, Razyukt, knowing the secrets. Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And I guess in a way, opposite is when we are totally isolated from who we are. And following on, Proust said the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. So this vision and attitude that comes from knowing who we are, it's revealing as if a completely different option to be in the world. So happy to see you also. Encouragement, if you're in a position to come into camera, would be lovely. This is more like a family and way to meet. And we'll be welcoming in now Brother Bishant, who's also been away for many weeks. So I'm sure has many secrets rediscovered, re-emerged. So good morning. Just wanting to check if the translation is fine. Italian translation, we just will be working on that. Yeah, thank you. Over to Bishant. Good morning.
Hello and good morning. And yes, meeting again, possibly after 3 months. And this last many weeks were in Bharat, in India. And nice to be back and connect again with the routine that has been seen with some benefit. Let us start with a few moments of silence and concentration. And as always, when we experiment with this, we come to our supreme home. We feel free to keep our eyes open or closed, but important is to experience that expanse. In an undistracted way. Thank you. The word Raz, in the way we use it has few meanings. and there is Raz within that word. And one meaning is hidden significance. And there are certain things that are not obvious, and there is a significance to various things that happen around us. On a simple level, scientists know the Raz. That something happens, scientists know that behind this there are certain forces acting, there's gravity, there's some force of acceleration. So they almost know that this is the way it will happen. Someone else is surprised, but he knows the Raz behind it. He has understanding, sense. And so when you understand the Raz, your life becomes richer. When you have not understood the Raz, you are confused, disturbed, what will happen? But once you know the hidden laws, then you know what is to happen, and you are relaxed about it. And you can use that understanding for the benefit of others. Same happens at a spiritual level. One understands the laws of spirituality, which even scientists don't know. You understand the patterns. And what normally might surprise others, you know that is the way you expected anyway, because you know the pattern, and you can use this understanding for the benefit. Because once you know, you have understood, you can then educate others, and you know that as a result there will be benevolence. So these secrets, for others it may be secrets, like what scientists know or someone else might say it is secret, or it is magic, but for for them it is obvious. So also many things become obvious to you. Yogis, those who are dealing with silence, they are also scientists, but on another level. What is the big difference between the scientists of the present time and those who deal with silence? What's the big difference, main difference? What would you say? Someone asks you, those who deal with science and those who deal with silence. And by silence, I am talking about Razyugis, those who understand the knowledge and those who are yogis. And what's the big difference between them? They both deal with secrets, and they all deal with the benevolence also. They want to bring benefit to the community, and they know the laws of nature. They want to know. What is the one word difference that makes very distinctly different those with science and those who deal with silence?
So silence. Proof, one word would be, maybe it has visible proof. Silence discovers the real world, soul silence. Scientists are brain focused, yogis are soul focused, and spirituality would be the one word. Maybe it's like a ego silence rather than chicken science. Corporeal, limited versus unlimited, concentration, matter and non-matter, or unmanifest.
Good.
Scientists don't know the world beyond, so it's limited.
One way to see this whole thing is science and the entire clan of scientists. They work with uh, Patthar intellect helplessly, as if just like some people, they are good in sports, some are good in something else. You know, but it is like this Yadav community has no possibility of paras. It is tough to get them understand the paras perspective. Whereas yogis, pandavas, are those who whose strength is paras. Paras intellect. It is almost like having a sight. And that changes the game completely. Otherwise, all clever. But because of the Patthar, they are absolutely limited to the physical world. Helplessly. All clever, but cleverness is limited to this physical world. They can't go beyond it. Almost non-existent. Anything beyond non-existent. Like for example, the concept of the soul. People within science world, they are using the word consciousness. They they do research. They find that people have out of body experiences, not just one or two. They themselves say 60 million people on this planet had out of body experiences. There are people who do research on reincarnation and cases after cases, thousands of cases, thorough research using science methodology. And then at the end of it, they say, we can't make use of this research, which means it doesn't fit in within our model. We can't use. So thank you very much for doing research, but it is going to stay there. We don't want to talk about it even. So such is their positioning. If you use the word soul in a gathering, if you use consciousness and all, then it's okay. But use the word soul, that is end of the meeting. Such is the positioning, Patthar positioning, which is fine. So they are happy to go into the details and analyze this and go into details of details, but it all works at Patthar level. They can know lots of details and lots of secrets, but they miss the possibility of the truth. They can't know the truth. Like if I come with a very beautiful system of medicine, but don't want to know about heart, don't include the heart, everything else I'm accepting, then that system of medicine will have limitation and ultimately will be a failure. So something similar happens here also. We are in the Patthar analysis. It doesn't bring us to truth. It doesn't bring us to ultimate success. It cannot create a golden age. To get the ultimate success, we need the intellect that can see the full picture. That's why Paras is like a precondition for us. And what happens with Paras? Paras can see the full picture. Paras can see the physical world for what it is, but can come beyond, step out of the physical. Can see the journey of the players. The moment you are in truth, truth is so powerful. If you have the right details, correct details, right address, you reach the destination. If you have halfway knowledge, then you may not reach the destination. So here it is the same. You know the full picture, and then it becomes beautiful. If you can see the full, complete elephant, then the whole thing is beautiful. If I see just half of the leg and half of the trunk, you don't even know what it is. You see the whole thing. You can be then useful to the elephant, and your elephant is useful to you. Many things happen like that. So here also, you are seeing the full map. And when you see the full map, you are now seeing things the right way up. You are useful to yourselves, useful to others. So in our next practice, our aim is to just experience our home. That is the aim. With some details. It's like a reset. In a second, we come to that expanse. Especially pay attention to the light, region of light and color. Thank you. And this is one simple Raz for us to understand and offer it to everyone, your students, and but also in the Lokik world, company world, school world, to offer this. What is the Raz? Even for 1 minute, you bring your attention to this supreme home with concentration, you bring about a shift in consciousness. And completely new people, they experience this, and we should experience this also. Just within 1 minute or even half a minute, you notice a shift in consciousness. And what is the thinking behind this? Normally, our mind is never blank. No one can blank the mind. But mind has random thoughts. Yogis, they may have one thought, but there is a thought always. We think, therefore we exist. So thought is there. But most of the time, in the world, there are random thoughts, and large majority of these thoughts are cyclical thoughts. Some universities, psychology departments, they say 90% of our thoughts, they are cyclical thoughts. We think same thing over and over again. And large majority of these thoughts are negative thoughts. 100% of this, random and cyclical, are bound to be wasteful thoughts. If you are thinking the same thing 10 times, it is waste. If you are going around the block 10 times, you are wasting your time. Same thing here. There's random thoughts and cyclical thoughts. When you create 1 minute with concentration and come to this region of light, those cyclical thoughts are stopped. That's all. And these random thoughts are stopped. These are thoughts of Ravan. They are random to you, but they are not random for Ravan. There is a reason why we think. It is some kind of a nourishment for some heads of Ravan there. They are thoughts about the story. For 1 minute, you are not feeding Ravan, you notice the change. And the Ravan is dismantled in a small way. And you notice that shift remains for longer, not just 1 minute. You notice that shift longer period. And more people need to experiment with this. They will notice efficiency for the next 20 minutes. Just practice 1 minute of this, stepping back, and mind-brain apparatus will be more efficient. What a beautiful thing. Something we have got to offer to Logics, complete Logics. We don't need to tell them practice mindfulness or something. This is like a far more efficient and doesn't involve too much spirituality. They can get on with it. Let us create 1 more minute. Same practice. Now we know why we are doing what we are doing. We remain 100% light. Our virtue is lightness. But we also remain serious during this minute. We aim to do this with full attention and be in that region of light and color, engage with that region. And if you are doing that, there will be no thoughts of the story. There will be no other thoughts. You are engaged in that region beyond. So right now, in a second, we complete region of light. the region beyond. Within the subject of spiritual intelligence, stepping back is seen as intelligence. And many things happen. You just act, you just speak what comes to your head, and then regret afterwards. That is not intelligent. And that many things happen, you are able to step back, see what is happening. Most of the time, there is nothing need to be done. But if anything need to be done, you are able to do it also. But having stepped back, when you've stepped back, you are more in control. Excellent. Let's come to our the paras. We are just seeing. Paras helps us to see the whole elephant, as opposed to Pattar, who just sees part of the leg or tail. So you are seeing. So Paras here helps us understand this physical world for what it is, helps us to understand our home, our true family. These are big things. No one wants to just not know his family. They spend their whole life trying to come back to their family if they are kept away from the family. It becomes their mission to rediscover their family. So here we are seeing there is a family we had forgotten about. There is God, Father, one who loves us, the wisest. That we have a home. There is immortality. And we even discover ourselves. This is big, big secret. Someone who doesn't even know that he has lost himself. Here, one question. Even in philosophy, there is a discussion on true self. There are chapters in books, true self. But no one is in a rush to true self, so so true self, it must be a big issue. It is about us. It is about me. And so until then, I am in a false self. It should be why no one is in a rush to discover the true self. Do you want to tell? What is the Raz behind this? No one is in a rush. They're very relaxed about it. In fact, I'm talking here about the philosophy world. Outside the world, they might not even bother to even hear the words self and whatever. But why there is no rush? Why not many people? If you arrange a talk on true self, not that the whole town will come running, not necessarily. Why there is not a huge demand for the true self?
Well, one comment here, ignorance is bliss. They're scared to know the truth. Maybe the happiness in being an illusion, like a spell. Maybe they're afraid of what they will find out. The true self is cluttered with ego identities. Humans are afraid of change, comfort zone. Maybe they're externally distracted most of the time. Enemy is in charge, so he doesn't want you to look too closely. The narrow intellect doesn't see the benefit of knowing it. It becomes a nice philosophy.
Yeah, that's very good. You give the answer actually. So what is happening here? When the true self is not conscious, the false self, false ego takes birth. It is false, so it is okay with it. I'm the false ego. I'm replacing the true self. But this false self is based on something else. That's why it is false self. It is not based upon you. In this case, it is based on the story, based on Cinderella. So you are creating this self identity based on Cinderella, sometimes based on Cinderella's shoes and Cinderella's car and job. It can be anywhere, which is false. So the world is open for this false. There are many false identities you can create. There are no limits on false. There's only one truth. False can be many. Okay, so there is lots of these false identities created. But in time, these false identities are getting bigger. In other words, the ego is getting bigger. Bigger ego is very, very dominant. It rules your mind, rules your time, rules your life. And now you are saying, I want to know the true self. That is very exciting, true self. And I want to wake up to the true self. What does it mean for the false self? It means you are going to remove the false self. Then the false self, that is not its priority to die, to disappear. That is not its, first thing it wants to do. In fact, it is one law of this world. Whatever that comes to life, it doesn't want to die. It is a law. It wants to stay there. It will give a fight. It may be an ant, it may be a mosquito, it can be a elephant, human. No one wants to die. They want to get bigger and they want to stay there forever. And so also the ego. Same law applies to ego. Once you have given it a birth, you have created the ego, it just doesn't want to go. It wants to give a fight. And your excitement about the true self, it is not happy at all about this. It is like a suicide pact for it. So it says, oh, the true self is nice. This philosophy is nice, but I'm busy right now. I will come back to it some other time. So it will have its clever arguments to postpone this, and so that it can safely continue with its adventure of feeding the false ego further. So there is an agenda, within each one of us to nourish the false ego. To know that there is an agenda there. And this is in everyone. And this false ego, it is excited about things in the story. It wants to stay at that level in the story. Now, this is with the world, and this is what is happening all around us. But we are the ones who understand the immense value of this true self. And we are not just going to drop it just because ego doesn't want to. We know this Raz, that we want to remove the ego. Well, we know the game that is going on inside everyone and inside of us. That ego wants to go in one direction. We want to just remove ego. That is our position. We are trying to find a way how the ego can be restrained, stopped, and eradicated. Yes, so you want to add anything? You want to say anything?
Just a question that came through just now from the Spanish group. Is there true ego?
Sure. We can use the word ego to this true self. This true self, it stays in the true ego. We use the word self-respect. We avoid using the word ego for that, just for language. But the Latin word ego is very neutral word. But we are using that word ego, meaning false ego, with that meaning. Just for language, but and so when the soul is conscious, he is in, we say, self-respect. He is conscious, he's seeing perspective from beyond, and that is a true perspective.
It's interesting you went from a very simple secret of concentration that if we bring the mind into that sky image, anyone can do this, and that actually dismantles ego, even if one isn't having the full map of knowledge. That is a very beautiful secret that we can all take benefit. But now you're speaking of a secret when one has got the orientation and the recognition of the true self, that there's an active opposition. And it is a secret, isn't it? Because the words might be right, it might look like a spiritual effort-making life, but still there can be a boycott in the system. Can you say a bit more about how, in a way, again, this ignorance is bliss? Sometimes people might say, this is inauspicious. I don't want to know. I want to be focused on the positive, and others might feel liberated by having this subtlety revealed. Do you want to say anything about that?
Yes. Mm. No, we want to, our strength is the truth. We want to know the full map clearly. If we see incomplete map, it may appear nice, but it is incomplete and ultimately defeats us. We don't reach the destination. That is why we are using this paras to see the full map. And when we see the full map, we realize truth of everyone is sublime. It is extraordinary, beyond belief, the truth of everyone. And in a sense, truly positive. And since the truth is already the highest and the most positive and life of happiness and love and authenticity, it is clean and everything is good, everyone is good. So we might as well come in truth, stay in truth, help others come in truth. There is no real answer or benefit or cleverness in half answers or doing things halfway, incomplete, half measures. There is no benefit in that. Some may think it is, something positive, but in a superficial way. Just like someone says, taking a drug and says, I'm positive, I'm happy, but something is not quite right here. Mm. So here, yes. Yeah, please.
We're adding to that the note in the chat, ignorance is bliss. It's like the fish saying it's so nice, this bait, but then ends up in the frying pan.
Yeah. So here we are showing that each and everyone, what is the starting position of everyone? They all are immortal. They all have a home. They all belong to God. But it is not just belonging, they are not doing worship. They are loved, and it is like a relationship of equality. Yeah. Everything is auspicious. There is nothing inauspicious. Yeah. It is a family, the life of love and happiness and contentment and fullness and immortality. Nothing can harm anyone. Such is this world. Like ordinarily people, everything may be going right, but there is some subconscious, some other other feelings could be there. What might happen tomorrow, or, or why something happened yesterday. There are some traumas, past traumas. Whereas here, there is no subconscious, scars. There is nothing else happening. Clean, inside out, they are clean. They know they are eternally safe. Everyone is truly good, and everything is good. Far away, they know the story, and story, many things happen. There are so many stories in this world. It is an entertainment. The stories are harmless, and they don't see any story as negative. That is, oh, great. The story is great. So they see it for what it is, and they know their world for what it is. Invisible soul is the invisible player, he is the invisible prince, belongs to the King of Kings. He knows this, he's experiencing this right now. He knows that everyone else is lucky. They all are the same. They all are good. They need to wake up and see their greatness, see their truth. So this is what you are saying. You are understanding the biggest secret of everyone and your own. But you also know that this story is very, very sophisticated and very convincing. Imagine some dolls, you create a show of dolls. But if they are very sophisticated and with lots of music and smell, and then it can deceive many people. Many people will stop doing their job and come to watch the dolls. Yes. And this is what is happening here. We are the victims of our own creation. We are getting drawn into this world. Just showing a different color. So we are getting drawn into that to such a level that we now are getting disconnected from our own world. We are so impressed with this story world that we are getting disconnected from our family, from our home, from our treasures, from our Father, and from ourselves. Disconnected. We don't even want to know that anything exists or anyone exists. And it is all because of this glitter and gold in this box. Glitter, gold, and song. That is enough. Someone singing a song, I love you, then he's out of the ring. Does it happen? Do you know anyone who is out of the ring with a song? Song and glitter combination is very effective to knock them out of the ring. In computer games, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with the computer games. Personally, I'm not, but recently came across one lady, academic in one of the universities, and she's so excited about her farm and cows and customers, and cows are missing her, and but you get an idea, and there are millions who are playing these computer games and who get drawn into this, they got this another life going on in this cyber world.
Called Heyday, in case anyone knows it.
Yeah. So this other life going on. And certain number of people, they get so caught in this computer world that the World Health Organization uses the term emotional disconnect. A new diagnosis, new term is used because of computer games. So they are disconnected from their family, from their job, from their world, and from themselves, eventually themselves. They ignore body, they don't want to eat, they don't want to wash, they just ignore themselves. Now this is exactly what is happening at another level. That other computer game is more recent, a limited one. It is same thing has happened at another level. We are getting so drawn into this bigger computer world. And cows are missing you also. here, and someone else is singing a song. In other computer game, there may be no song, and still she's deceived. Here, there's song, there's glitter, there's gold, and there are humans, not just cows. There are humans here. So many factors. It's a huge distraction. They are getting drawn into this, and they are now disconnected from their world, disconnected from themselves. What is the Raz in this context? If you tell this, you get a prize. What is the Raz in this context? They are disconnected from their family, from their home, from their treasures, from God, and from themselves. What is the Raz? Very significant for us to know this. There's a prize. If you get a right answer, there is a prize.
When you say Raj, do you mean like a secret to come out or the diagnosis?
Yeah, the understanding, significance. What is this? Something to understand we are missing, or something very precious to understand in this context.
One comment when to actually realize what has happened, that they're disconnected, and the courage to step out or to consider another perspective.
Yeah.
They don't know they are asleep. So that's like the pomp of Maya, maybe. And how clever the enemy is.
Yeah, you got an answer. The word I'm looking for. They don't know that they don't know. Can you imagine? They have lost the family. They are disconnected from their treasures and from their home and from God. From their father. They are disconnected. But they are in such a zombie state. They don't even know what they have lost. They are planning their next holiday. They are in debt. Something they want to settle down in that box. They may be quite pleased that they got promotion and they got some little more money. They may be quite pleased. Some philosophers use the language, don't know that they don't know. And this is the story of the invisible players. They don't know that they don't know. That is what you answered also. They don't know that they are asleep. And so there is if you don't even know that there is a problem, how will you fix it? Say if you are in a wrong place and you don't even know that you are in the wrong train. You are happily sitting comfortably, settling down, but you are in the wrong train. At some point you will get a shock, but right now, very comfortable, enjoying the ride. It is something like that. This situation, our present situation, is of such a level of confusion. Once we understand it, that's why the Raz has a benefit, because once you realize it, we can do something about this. So right now our aim is to put it back. We want to reconnect. Our family, our home, our father, our treasures, self. We want to bring it all back. It is ours, and we have a right there. We now know that we don't know. In the relationship, don't know that they don't know. We understood now what is wrong, and we want to put it right soon. Darkness of ignorance favors the ego. Where there is clarity, light, truth, that favors the soul. So here, our very first step is to use paras. Using paras is giving oneself the permission to go 100% in light, permission to see 100% in clarity. Even for short time, we are going for this 100%. And what does that mean, 100% light? We are seeing that this physical world is a story world, and everything is a story. Right now, Prashant is talking here, that is happening in the story. Everything that happened since morning, it happened in the story. So there is nothing to complain in a story. Story means there is a different reality. Just like dealing with the Laurel and Hardy performance, there is nothing to complain, nothing to worry. There are no questions or why. You just watch and clap. We are able to come in the region beyond the story. One side is the story world, but the region beyond. And beyond the story is the true family. Here are the living stars. They are immortal and they are desireless. They are beyond harm. Nothing can harm them and they need nothing. This is the world of the family and the father. We remain very interested in this. It is like rediscovering our family. We are not seeing this just as a meditation commentary. We are reconnected to the true friend and the father. In this environment, the true self becomes conscious. In this environment, it is the alaukic environment. We are seeing that everyone here is incorporeal. Everyone is immortal. Everyone is from this supreme sky. They all are egoless and sorrowless, desireless, naturally sensible. World of the father and the family. And now, in this environment, it becomes normal to feel that your true form is also like them. This is what the invisible player feels. He is like everyone else. He is like the father at every level, including the appearance. He is immortal like them. He is beyond harm like them. He belongs to that flock. And now he sees the physical world as a foreign world, very gross, just like the Lauren and Hardy cartoon. He sees it all, but it appears so different. It is very unlike his world. Happy to go in that physical world, happy to be involved, but he remains happy, content with that supreme sky, very content with that celestial celebration. Thank you. Thank you. And you want to add anything?
Sometimes we use this expression perhaps about a personality or a fiction. We say it's larger than life. And when you said this physical world appears gross in comparison, it's brought a new feeling to that word. It's like larger than life. And when you said about everything physical, I don't know what it was you said, but it reminded me of one line from the reading this morning. The creator of all is one. Anything you can see with your eyes is part of creation. What you cannot see is the creator, the Father. And this paras is really key, isn't it, to experience that mind that is so free from the box or the manifest. And that when we work at the seed, the experiences of not needing anything and that sublime, you're lifted from any desire, desperation. You are kind of fixing something at a different level, the seed level, that actually may reflect in the physical. That feels like a secret. Not that you're doing it for that reason, but when you work at the seed, it has its manifestation in the right way. It's a very different way of working. The science they try to, or working at the manipulation of what we see, but it does require a continuous refreshment of the intellect that sees this is what is the real secret. Any other comments, questions right now? Thank you.
Here we are seeing that there is the family of angelic princes. They are immortal and their truth is sublime. And it is not just a nice fairy tale story. This is our story. As if they have won the biggest prize, biggest lottery win. And in this prize, there is God and there is a divine family and there is love and there is immortality beyond harm, and no one can deprive anything, no one can harm anything. Such is their world. And there is a story. Story is secondary gift. We are just understanding. Such is the truth. Agreed that right now we are far away from experiencing it. We are as if gone in that spell. We are living in that story. But every second, we are just reminding this truth. We are coming out of that spell. And this is another secret. We can break that spell for ourselves and for everyone else. We can come out of it. Every second has value. Every second we are experiencing it, seeing the wonder. Cause of that spell is darkness of ignorance. To break the spell, method is light of truth. Not just the words and nice, clever arguments, but experiencing the truth. this invisible player, he lives in the truth. He remains conscious, and just by he experiencing it, to start with, that itself is a big prize for him in the present. He is experiencing this sublime. But just by doing this, he contributes to the benevolence to everyone in the world on a big scale. Every second you are conscious, awake, you are creating light. We call it lighthouse effect. And in the environment of light, people are benefited. They can clearly see what is right and wrong. You don't even need to speak or convince, because there is light. And your benevolence is global. It will benefit many all over. Excellent. Thank you.
There's one question.
Mhm.
How can we, this is from the Portuguese group, how can we avoid the downward spiral movement, the movement down the spiral?
How to prevent, and that is a question, yeah? How we prevent ourselves from going downwards. The answer is going upwards. We have the option to change the direction altogether. And the way to do this is the power of truth. When we use the word paras, that is very strategic, very clever. In that environment, first thing that happens is the true self is conscious. Invisible player is conscious. And he can see his complete independence from the story. Invisible soul is the invisible prince. He knows he is very lucky, feeling of lucky. And lucky because of alaukic reasons. And then you are naturally making it easy for others to come up.
You see, the best form of defense is attack. In this case, it's not a violent thing, but you're busy with being in the upward, then everything else is aligned to also protecting yourself. So maybe now is a good time for a break.
Yeah.
We usually create this time, 10, 15 minutes. Prashant, would you like to frame a question which may be useful to start the discussion in rooms?
One big question is, what are your secrets? What are the secrets you are discovering? What are the raz you are finding?
Yes, because it's also experiential. So do feel free to create that time in the rooms also for maybe a bit of reflection before the sharing. We have created the rooms, and we hope that you're in the right one for your language. But if something is wrong, there's a help button. We can reassign you. And so enjoy the discussion, and just a reminder to give space for everyone to share if you can. And we'll meet you back in just over 10 minutes. Thank you. Welcome back. I hope that you got a feeling of this extraordinary application of secrets and had a chance to share. Great, like a minute to just spend time in the subtlety of our own experience before we continue. Thank you. Welcome back. So discovering more secrets, and now we're going to invite Sanjay, who will be sharing some reflections with us. So I think it's good afternoon. Welcome.
Yes, it's afternoon here in Israel, so good afternoon, everyone. Nice to be here again. You hear me good, I guess, right? So, all right, because it's new setup. So many inspiring points in our room. I wish for all of you being in our room also. One of the points was, there's no room for sorrow. You know why? Because we have the sight. We know the big picture, and we know that it's useless to have any attachment in anything in this little extra story that was invented for fun. Baba many times says, why you are not entertaining yourself? It's for fun. So no need to run here, no need to run there to try to achieve things. Everything in the drama is fixed and predestined. So just go with the flow with no conflicts and accept everything. This one was also inspiring point from one of the sisters. And also, we are not alone. We are not alone in this journey. There is Abba, there is God, there is a friend, there is a best consultant. So nothing to worry about. And we have that family. Everyone is our precious family. So there is this feeling of freedom. Freedom because we need nothing, we own nothing, we came with nothing to this physical extra PlayStation, and we go back with nothing. Just whatever we have here is to use in the best way and enjoy. So just to relate to this extra physical world as a gift, as a big, big lottery. Who else if not us? And it's a choice. Anyway, we know the truth and we can choose, but who is going to stay miserable without choosing right? So, yes, and each second, each minute that we spend in that light, we enjoy, and it's a kind of a fight because Maya and Ravan, our old friends, will present their gifts and their things to take us back to their world because they don't want to lose us. So it's also a game. One can see it also as a game and invite Ravan and Maya into the circle of light and finish them. Thank you, Om Shanti.
Very nice. Make the challenge. Because when you've got secrets, you want to, it's like you feel that power. Someone also wrote in the chat, never lose your happiness. So of course we're talking about the super sensuous happiness. And the point you made, no room for sorrow, even the belief that we need stress to get things done, as if it's a motivator. And this is a huge secret that perhaps we need to learn on different levels. And one secret you reminded me of that became more clear recently, that everyone has to come down. That's part of the journey. Now we're going up. It's not just one or two souls. And that creates huge acceptance. Exactly, everything is the way it is. No one to blame. But right now we have the choice to make that upward spiral. And as you say, if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? Now we have the secret. Happy to hear any other reflections. Feel free to share in the chat. Meanwhile, we'll welcome back Prashant. Might need to unmute, I think. Prashant comes with a whiteboard.
Yeah. Little burden. Carry the burden of the board.
Attachment.
So let us create another few moments of silence. And it is extraordinary. We need so many reminders to overcome this Mr. Ego. Mr. Ego repeatedly want to make this story big. And we step back. See the story for what it is and see our alokik reality. And this is our world. There is intoxication based on this world. Anyone if anyone wins a lottery prize, that is the most important secret. If he has won a lottery prize and he doesn't know, has got no intoxication on it, means he doesn't know. And especially if he's complaining about his electricity bill and that potatoes are becoming a little expensive, if these are his complaints, then he needs to know that he has won a lottery prize. So in this world, anyone, with feelings of little complaint, little disappointment, little comparison, the answer to this is he needs to know the secret. He has won a lottery prize. And this lottery prize includes immortality, includes God, equality with God, includes the region of that is divya, divine, and alakik, where everyone is divine, lovely, loving, and lucky. All are like this. Auspicious region, positive region. And every second we are just experiencing it, we make it possible for others to wake up. So it becomes the highest karma. Just you experiencing it, that's all. And you contribute to the highest karma. Make it possible for others to experience. Like a minimum intervention and a huge change. Someone who thinks he's a victim and you make him into angelic prince with minimum intervention. And on a big scale, on a global scale, that is a huge secret we need to know how we can do this. Thank you. Happy to hear any questions if there are any. And just want to add one more thing. But is there any questions?
Yes. Why does this knowledge need to be a secret? Why does God not make his presence known less subtly?
Yeah, it is secret, as was said earlier. For scientists, these are not secrets. For the layman, they think it is amazing secret. How did you know? How is it working? It is like a big secret for a layman. Like right now, I'm talking here and you are hearing in your countries, in your little houses, they're far away. So, and for me, it is a big secret. But for scientists, it is straightforward. In the same way here also, these are straightforward things. But human beings start with the childlike intellect. When we are talking about stone intellect, it is like childlike intellect. They can't gather. It may be made so clear, but they can't get it. You explain algebra to a child, she will not understand what you are talking about. He will think it is a nice game you are playing. He will come with a chalk and to scribble on what you are writing. So here also we are with the childlike intellect, and we don't understand the secrets not on the first day. But children don't remain children forever. They grow. Same thing happens with everyone. We can make the process a bit faster by introducing some of these simple exercises and taking on a next lesson. The revision, repetition, all of this. We said at the beginning, subtle intellect. We need this. Paras includes subtle and broad. We need all these things.
We have titles like Make Your Mind Your Friend or Clear Your Emotional Clutter, because people can relate. You know, it's practical, they feel. And then they may get some benefit, and then in time you realize what it is, the clutter. So we don't want it to be a secret. We want to reach, but we have to find ways. But the revelation will be in our example. If we are actually clearing the clutter, we understand that to be the ego, then that will help the message go much easier. So 95% is our own practice of what we've understood. But yes, we need the vehicle also to connect, whichever language it is. So no other questions right now?
Yeah. Recently, then Baba used the expression seed of bondage. What do you think is the seed of bondage? We need to know the seed. Bondage is a big area where it is a situation for us that the 100% of sorrows in the world are because of the bondage. And we are here to attain mukti and jivan mukti, to become free. So what is the seed of the bondage?
One comment is ego, another is attachment. Ignorance is the seed, body consciousness. The environment that supports the ego. Not knowing, ignorance. Darkness. Forgetting who we are.
And in what way darkness? Darkness agreed, ignorance is agreed. Tell a little bit more. What is the ignorance?
Creating expectations, subtle attachments, identity, fear. What was the question again, you said?
So what is the seed of the bondage?
The ignorance of the true home. Yeah, not having the bigger map. Things in the shadows. Ignorance, other things in the shadows. Not wanting to cooperate.
Very good. Answers are very, very clear. Now, one aspect is the web. In a bondage, we are caught in the web. And we don't even see the web as a web. That is a problem. It is almost like an ant. Ant is sitting on a web. He doesn't see, oh, he's in the web. And in that perspective, you are seeing it. You've got a nice little, area to make your home even. We are like that. We are in the web, and we are claiming that my web is better than your web. And the noose around my neck is smarter than noose around your neck. So it is a bizarre situation that we are in. More we see the bigger map, we will be able to see the perspective of the eagle. Right now it is the perspective of the ant. And when you see the perspective of the eagle, now you are seeing the web for what it is. Until then, we may be talking about bondage, but we go from one corner of the web to another corner of the web. We will create time to take this further tomorrow. But right now it will be nice to hear a passage, Baba's words on Razyukt. And then, Sarah, are you happy to create some time of silence? And
Yeah, we also have a drill, so maybe
yeah,
that could be. There's a passage from Merli from 1971, the 20th of September, and reading a few lines from that Merli. By being constantly loving, by having love for the one almighty authority, you are automatically loved by all souls. By understanding this secret, because of being one who is accurate in knowledge, Gyan, yoga, and divine virtues, and understanding all the secrets, such a soul is easily able to make all souls happy. When you do not understand all the secrets, you are not able to make others happy. When you understand the secrets of the minds of others from their faces and their words, you can easily make them happy.
just want to underline here. Raz is secrets, significance, and Razi is being happy, content, making others content. Baba is playing with the words.
Thank you. Adding the poetry. When you understand the secrets of the minds of others from their faces and their words, you can easily make them happy. In some cases, you sometimes see their faces and hear their words, but because of not understanding the secrets of their minds, you either make other souls unhappy or you yourselves become unhappy. Understand the secrets of the one you love and become one who understands all secrets. Acha, you know that you have to become the masters of the world in the future, but what do you have to become now? At present, are you the masters of the world or are you servers? Acha. Great. We'll finish with a drill for Madhaban, and maybe before we do that, if there is a homework, it's sometimes nice to distill this in a practice. Would Prashant like to share a notional homework?
There's some aspects we touched today in this big area. We said biggest lottery prize you have won. Let us revisit that lottery prize. If we have to be told, go and see what you have won, before going out, worrying about the inflation or, something going, some complaints. So we're visiting the prize 4 times before we meet again. See every aspect. And in this prize, there is family, father, relationships, treasures. Every aspect is the best and without limits. Yeah. Good homework.
Yeah, very nice. Revisiting the prize 4 times at least. Thank you. And thanks to all. We'll be meeting again same time. So we'll have a few minutes hearing from Baghdada. Thank you.
अभी एक सेकंड सभी बहुत मीठी मीठी स्वीट साइलेंस के स्टेज